Alright, hey guys, and welcome back. We have another DIY video, and remember when I said I wasn't going to do another top? I've brought you another top. I'm bringing you, I honestly don't know the right word for this, but all of a sudden one day my Pinterest was bombarded with this type of top. And to me I looked at it and I went, that can't be that hard. You know, that can't be that hard. And I've changed its name, but I've recently kind of dubbed it the boob scrunchie top. How do we feel? It just basically covers the boobs and then it's just straps in the back, totally open back. This isn't like a new concept shirt, but for some reason, all of a sudden, I saw them everywhere on Pinterest. Whenever I try to look for that kind of stuff in a store, it never like feels right or comfortable, and so I just really enjoyed being able to truly make this myself, so I know I'm gonna feel comfortable in it. There were a few things that I'm going to say I did incorrectly or could have done better and kind of tell you what and why. So the fabric that I used for this was not a very stretchy fabric. It was basically just a black, I'm sure primarily polyester. You know, it is sheer from a distance, but if it's like against you, you don't really notice it. This is the exact same fabric I did the cowl neck out of. So, you know, normally I see these types of tops made in a sort of satin. That doesn't feel right. I feel like these tops are generally done in not so stretchy fabrics. But I feel like you could, no? My very confused brain figured out I was using about 1.5 times the width of the front of my chest. So I measured it, did about 1.5 times that. What am I gonna do? Okay, so if my chest... No, you're only going across and not around because it's only covering the front. So it's roughly like, if I go to the sides, like 18 inches. And I think I want an extra, just kind of eyeball it with fabric. You kind of grab the one side and you're like, oh, this would be what a normal top looks like for me. And then you could easily just like add to it and cut there. And then you'd be working with like all of this, which, how much is that? Alright, so that is 36 inches, which is, that almost, yeah, that's almost double my chest. That's gonna be really crinkly. I'm almost thinking 1.5. I feel like that looks a little more manageable. Yeah. I don't know, I guess I'll find out. So I'm going 27 inches, so I'm going 1.5 times the width of my half of my chest. And then I think I'm just gonna go, I might do 9 just to play it safe. So I'm gonna do 27 and I'm gonna go 9 down. Yeah? So the very first step is to sew, and this is also why you want more width instead of it just fitting your boobs, unless you don't want that much kind of ruffle at the edges. I gave myself about 1 inch to even 1.5 inches probably of ruffle on both the top and bottom. And what you're gonna do is, however much you want to take, obviously, you're just gonna sew a straight stitch across the whole thing. And do not back over it. So, you know, like when you sew on a sewing machine, you like lock it in by like going back and forth. Don't do that, because what we're gonna do is after you have your straight line on both, you're gonna pull them gently. This step takes a lot of patience because I ended up ripping it and needing to re-sew it, the like thread, because I didn't have like the sturdiest thread in here, but also I just don't have patience. Lately kind of pulling out the strings, it did take a little bit of like finessing, messing with it. You're not just, I feel like I've seen people do it and they can just pull and it works. I don't know if like, my machine's pretty wonky and messed up sometimes, so you might be able to just pull it and like it'll tighten, no issue. I had to mess with it a little bit, just like definitely patience, because like I said, I ripped mine. Here's a step that I didn't do that I'm going to recommend to you is once you have the ruffles kind of like how you like them and you have the things scrunched up as much as you like I was fitting it on me to be like, okay, yeah, that hits me in a good spot. I'm going to suggest you lock in that thread and sew back over it. I don't know if that's like how a professional would want you to do it, but I have now run into the issue
after having it like done and wearing it and wearing it out and whatnot, I have had it start to like kind of pull, or even parts of the thread rip if I just like moved weird. And that obviously wouldn't happen if things were locked in place. You wouldn't have to really worry about that, because once you lose the ruffle, it starts to like stretch out, meaning more fabric, meaning it can like pop open or something of the sort. So I'm gonna suggest you sew back over it just to really lock in that ruffle, but it just helps to get the right shape of it, I think, doing it the pole method. All right, from here I made the straps, and I really didn't do anything complicated. I did not do this kind of strap in my 3 cami tops, but I do believe this is the strap I did in the cowl neck, where you just literally sew a piece of rectangle fabric kind of in half, and then you use a safety pin to flip the whole thing inside out. So obviously, again, you can make these as thick or thin. So once you have your straps done, you're going to, I started off by just sewing them to the tops, to the top, yeah. And I tried to keep all of my sewing stitches along that line of ruffles so that it all kind of meshed in, and you won't see random lines of stitching on the shirt in general. It's all on those 2 lines of ruffles. So the straps got attached there. I made sure to really like go back and forth, lock it in. But I talk about this in the video. I ended up deciding to crisscross just to feel better about my straps. I tried doing just like straight over, but it would need like a band around the waist, or else there's nothing really preventing it from sliding around, at least how it feels on my body. But yeah, I sew right over where we sewed the ruffle. This definitely could use a strap across the bottom. If you really wanted to be secure, that would be definitely the way to go, I would say. I literally realized what we could have done is put like little loops or something here to like tuck the strap in and essentially tie it, which wouldn't be, again, the most like trustworthy, but then you could like leave the ties here. I know I left it at that when I was recording it during the whole process, but one, I did end up adding a strap completely just around the waist because I didn't feel secure. Again, I don't know if I should have just adjusted my straps differently, or from the beginning, the way I was making it, I needed a waist strap, but I ended up just adding a waist strap, and I didn't have any elastic, but I did have a clip. So this might look a little odd to some people because I have like a giant clip on the back of mine, but honestly it didn't bother me that much, and I think it's kind of fun. So sometimes stuff like this, especially just making things yourself, when we don't really know what we're doing, just take a little bit of like, I always, when I make something, try to wear it around like the apartment. It depends on your comfort and your experience level, I'd say, but it just makes me feel more confident when I basically give it a test run. I'm trying to make sure there's like nothing else. It's a lot, but it was honestly really fun to make. It really wasn't that complicated, kind of more of the troubleshooting at the end than anything, and I think a lot of it could have been helped if I had just locked in the ruffles. I know I've said that 5 times now, but really I think you should do it. But this shirt is like really cute. I actually really like it. I'm now gonna try and say I'm done making tank tops, but I don't know, summer's not over yet, so who's to say? But I really enjoyed making this, and you know what? Let me know if you give it a shot or if you're even interested in this kind of top. It didn't take a lot of fabric if you don't have a ton on you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to DIY. I'll do another tank top if you want it. I'll do something else if you want it. I'm open to all ideas. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.